Okay. Hey, Tracy, you hear me? Happy New Year, Tracy. You hear me?
Happy New Year. I can hear you.
Okay, okay. All right. We should go on the record then with proceeding number 25D-0435CP in the matter of the petition of Alpine Taxi / Limo Incorporated for a declaratory order pursuant to Commission Rules 4 CCR 723-I-1304 subsection F. I'm Administrator Law Judge Robert Garvey. Today is the 7th of January in 2026, which I cannot believe is 2026, but I will just say that anyway. This comes on for a pre-hearing conference pursuant to decision R25-0920I. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at my screen. It looks like the top of my head is up, but it says it's recorded. So hopefully the top of my head is visible to everyone. If not, it does exist. And I will start with appearances. Mr. Valentine, you may start.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mark Valentine from the law firm of Keys and Fox on behalf of Alpine.
All right. And Ms. Hampshire.
Good morning, Molly Hampshire on behalf of Routt County and the Yampa Valley Regional Airport. And then I also have online Miss Keene and Miss South who are appearing as well.
All righty. And I wrote this a while ago, so I don't remember if my order said so much on it. What I had was, I know, Mr. Valentine, I'm quite sure when you filed the petition, you were quite hopeful that the commissioners would just issue out a decision saying you win.
No. No, I knew that would not happen.
I figured you knew that, but you can't give up hope. You gotta hope. So, but I didn't see it in that petition, if I recall correctly, how you wanted to proceed if you want. And I did see Ms. Hampshire and yours who said an evidentiary hearing. I have my opinions already, but I'm not gonna. I will not share them until, in the hopes that one of you might convince me otherwise, if that's what you're thinking. So, Mr. Valentine, since you had not said how you want to proceed on this one, I'll let you begin.
I was thinking that this would be a briefs case and that we would not need an evidentiary hearing. And the reason for that is because the contract dispute is not something that the commission has jurisdiction over. And there's another proceeding which is pending before Judge Farley, where there was acknowledgement of the contractual dispute, but really nothing beyond that. And the procedural posture of the contractual dispute is well understood by the parties, and the facts related to that dispute really aren't relevant to the question of whether the county airport has the authority to bar Alpine, which is the subject of the petition. So we were anticipating legal briefs. I spoke with opposing counsel. They indicated that they would like a very short one-day hearing. And I remain to be convinced that it's necessary.
Okay, let me ask you this real quickly. When you're saying you want a briefing schedule, exactly how many, opening brief,
I was
response,
thinking,
reply?
yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Would you see the necessity for like an oral argument?
Only if Your Honor believes that it's necessary after reading the briefs.
Okay. Ms. Hampshire, what do you think?
Well, I come down on the other end of the spectrum. So we're requesting an evidentiary hearing in person in Routt County. We have.
Wow. Well, hang on. Time out right there. Why in Routt County? Yeah, that's going to be a real hard one to get by me to tell me why it's going to be necessary for Routt County.
I mean, from a logistics perspective, myself and Ms. South, who represent the county, as well as the witnesses we would intend to call, are all located regionally in Routt County, anticipating that a hearing would be occurring sometime in the next 3 months, optimistically. This is high season for the airport. One of the witnesses is the airport director. And if the matter were in person, having her travel to the Front Range would create some logistical difficulties for the airport itself.
What information do you think that would be provided in evidentiary hearings?
Well, I'm always a proponent of in-person hearings. I think they're the best way for the court and the
I don't
parties.
care about that. I care about what information is going to be. Because I see this as being a legal question. I'm going to tell you that's kind of what I thought, and so I'm not quite sure what information would be provided by a witness that would be at all helpful.
So in this particular case, I would disagree that this is a limited question of law. I do think that there are some facts to be discussed and there are some nuances in the case that would best be elicited via an evidentiary hearing from the two witnesses. That would be evidence related to the geography of the airport, the regional nuances,
Why would
and
the geography be important?
oh, I think it's quite important to this case due to the limited geography of the airport. If Mr. Valentine's client were allowed to continue to operate uh, in this area, it really hamstrings the airport's ability to find additional individuals to meet the demands because they're not meeting the requirements contractually with the airport
But hang
themselves.
on, if that's a problem, if the structure of the airport is a problem, why does that? I mean, why does that bother me? I mean, that seems to be the airport's problem.
Well, I would say that the airport maintains that they have the right to determine who operates on their facility. And
But isn't that a legal question?
that is a legal question, but why it is that Mr. Valentine's client is not currently operating on the airport, why they shouldn't operate on the airport, and why the airport feels that allowing someone with a CPCN to operate at the airport when they're in violation of the airport's agreements and licensures, to me, requires a consideration of the factual underpinnings as opposed to just merely a question of law.
But doesn't this apply for all airports then?
It does. So I think there's
So
a
why would the geography of your airport, the geography of that airport is different than the DIA, which I just was at about 20 minutes
extremely
ago.
different from the
And so, I
geography
mean,
of DIA.
why would we're not going to have, I guarantee you, we're not going to have a rule for every airport.
No, I would hope not. I would hope that the rule would be that the airport maintains its authority to operate as it sees fit and to exclude Mr. Valentine's client.
So why would the geography matter?
It seems to me that you don't think that geography matters.
Well, I mean, I'm asking why it would. I mean, because this is something that has to go for every airport.
Correct.
So the geography of the airport would be different from one airport to the other. And so
It
if the
is.
geography made a difference, then there would be different rules for each airport. True
Well,
or
I
false?
think
I mean,
when I say geography, I may not be conveying what it is that I am really hoping to provide to you, which is that when I say geography, I mean where the airport is physically located, who it
again,
serves,
why would that matter?
the population, the number of individuals that the airport is serving. Why that matters is because we only have a limited number of CPC and carriers.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If we're using this for all airports,
Mhm.
the rule doesn't state, or the statute doesn't state for airports. I mean, if the statute said something like that, I go, okay, yeah, maybe you got to tell me something like that. But this is supposed to be for the statewide, and
Yeah,
so
sure. Well,
I don't
seeing
get why it matters.
seeing where you're going with this, I maintain that we still need an evidentiary hearing. If you decline to have the hearing in person, then we would request that the evidentiary hearing occur remotely.
Okay, I guarantee you, I'm not driving out to Route County for a hearing that I don't think is necessary. That one, I'll tell you real quickly, probably not going to happen, because I really don't see that. I mean, again, I tell you, I mean, I don't see the point now. I don't know. This is going to be for statewide,
Mhm.
and so individual differences shouldn't matter. I don't think, Mr. Valentine, you have anything to add to that?
I don't.
I mean, all I've heard is about geography, and that's an individual thing and doesn't relate to the law. And you know, you haven't been before me before. Mr. Valentine can tell you, I kind of stick to what I need to stick to, and I don't need superfluous stuff that sullies a record up or creates. I'm just don't need to hear it.
Well, beyond
Um,
the geography question, I do think that the information related to the contractual dispute, as Mr. Valentine frames it, is relevant for your consideration. But if you believe that you can receive that information through a briefing schedule, then we would at least request that the matter have an oral argument at the conclusion.
All right, well, I said, I just don't, it didn't convince me, Ms. Hampshire. I came in thinking, I talked to my advisor and we talked it over and we both were of the opinion that an evidentiary hearing, I just don't see what that's going to tell me. That's not unique to that situation, and this is not for the decision of a unique situation. This is a question of law, and I think is done by briefs very well. So I think that's all we need. So I would say opening briefs. How long do you need, Mr. Valentine? I'll start with you first. I will tell you that if we're going to have a time for an oral argument, it's going to be in March. I now have a hearing each of the first 3 weeks of February. So please, please, please don't tell me you can only do it like the fourth week of February. That would be not fun.
No,
So-
I mean, I think that I could probably have an opening brief to you in 3 weeks, a month.
Okay, 3 weeks.
I
Other
was
3 weeks. Some Sam,
Thinking
should
we
we
would
think 3 weeks?
use the appellate's procedural schedule, but I'm happy to just pick dates too. I know that Ms. Keene is away the last week of February or the first week in March.
So, Ms. Hampshire, what do you think?
I'm happy
s-
to,
Today's the 7th. How about February 6th
for the deadline for their opening brief.
for
That's
opening
fine
briefs?
with me.
Yeah,
That works for me, Your Honor.
okay. Response then. They said Ms. Keene's gonna be out of town. The last week of February. Ms. Hampshire, I'll ask you, would you, does that mean you'd like to have it before that last week of February or after that last week of February?
I have no problem with the 27th, but if you want to push it to March 6th, that probably works best, given the schedules of the attorneys.
Okay, Mr. Valentine, do you have any problem with March 6th?
No.
Okay, and we'll do a reply. I'll reply. Not my favorite thing, but and
I
how
will
about
keep it short and sweet.
short and sweet on the reply? Yeah, normally I've had enough by the opening brief and the response, but we're not having an evidentiary hearing, so I'll give you a reply brief. So we'll say the 27th on that. And what I'll say on the reply brief, at least for right now, based upon the briefs that come in, if you would designate in that whether you believe an oral argument is necessary at that time, both parties would do that. And when I get that, then I'll schedule it. Then I'll either decide or schedule at that point. If you both say no, I don't want to schedule something up, I'll take it off the schedule. We're down to one court reporter, and so I try and watch out for her, and don't want to overschedule her. So, but put it in there, and then I'll schedule it out. Put some dates if you want it. Say here's open dates we have. If you want it, if you confer before and say these are good dates, that'd be great. But I think that's it. Thank you for your time, Mr. Valentine. You got anything more?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Hampshire, anything from you?
No thanks. I would just encourage you to drive up to Route County whenever you have the time. It's a beautiful place.
I try and get there. So, well, I should now. I mean, there's no snow. It's supposed to snow.
I mean, there's
supposed to
little.
snow now. So no, I get. It's not that I don't want to go there. It's not that I don't want to go there. I want to go there. It's a pain sometimes. I'm telling. I mean, we're virtual. We're not doing any in-person hearings. By the way, even in Denver anymore. So because we're refixing the offices and making it smaller. So, and I love the virtual. I'm sorry. I get to. I like it. So, and it's the best. I get to look at everybody at the same time. Great. Okay. Last time, Mr. Valentine, anything?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Damn sure. Anything?
Okay. No, thank
All
you.
right. Thank you both for being here. Thanks for talking this over and doing that. I appreciate it. And everybody have a happy new year and the rest of the week.
Great.
And I'll see you
Thanks,
later.
Your Honor.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.